Okay, so let's look at Upper Intermediate English, Student's Book, page 32. So we are in Unit 3, and this page says listening and speaking at the beginning. We're going to look carefully at this activity called the money jigsaw. Okay, so before we move on to other things, take a look at the picture. Take a look at the photos, title, right? It says our 2,000-pound jigsaw. And then we have a caption. The caption means words toward the bottom of the picture. It says, stick-up job on torn banknotes leaves schoolgirls 1,200 pounds richer. What do you think the story is about? Well, you can probably guess, but let's talk about some helpful vocabulary. Okay? So, rip up. You may know this word rip. If not, it is a synonym for tear. Okay? Rip means to tear something. If we say rip up, or if we say tear up, that means to tear something into lots of small pieces. Okay, so if I say, oh, I tore my homework, maybe I just tore the paper a little bit by accident. But if I say I tore it up, that means I tore it into small pieces. Banknotes. As you can see in the picture, banknotes means paper money. Of course, it's usually not really paper, but it looks like paper. This kind of money, cash money that you can hold in your hand, but it's not made of metal, it's not a coin, we call these banknotes. Flying all over. Okay, flying all over means something is moving in the air, and it's moving everywhere. Maybe you can't catch all of it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's literally flying. Okay, if I drop lots of small things and the wind is blowing, maybe they will be flying all over. A bin. This is British English. In America, I say a trash can or a garbage can. In Britain, it's a rubbish bin or maybe just a bin. Jammed full. Okay, so in the story, I'll give away just a little part of it. These girls find something in a bag, a plastic bag, and the bag is jammed full, right? This means that it's very full, and someone pushed something into it to make it very full. This is jam. Someone jammed it full. All right, torn up notes. Again, this is talking about banknotes, as you can see in the picture. And stick together. Here we're talking about using something like tape or glue to put the pieces of something together. Alright, so look at the instructions for exercise 1. They say, look at the headlines and photographs. With a partner, use the prompts to invent the story. Well, it may be difficult for you to do this with a partner, so if you're at home and you need to do this at home, that's fine. But notice the prompts. We have 2 sets of phrases that are separated by slashes. So the idea is we're going to tell the story or write the story in 2 paragraphs. If you were with a partner, maybe one of you could take one paragraph and the other could take the other paragraph. You decide how you want to do this, but I would suggest studying the phrases and then practice telling the story. You can decide if you want to tell the story out loud. Maybe you have a family member who speaks English and you can tell the story out loud to that person. Or maybe you prefer to write. This could be a good writing activity. You write. But you want to take each one of these phrases. On 1 or 2, you might add an extra word or 2. But you want to take these phrases in order to tell the story. So first we're going to start with walking to the school. That first phrase, walking to school, is the first one you will use in the story, and so on. So again, you might want to pause the video right now. I'll pause for just a few seconds and then show you the first paragraph. The first paragraph I'm going to show you is only an example. Okay, we're using this title, Our 2,000-Pound Jigsaw, and I'm going to pause for a moment and then show you the first paragraph. Okay. Two schoolgirls were walking to school when they saw some ripped up banknotes. They were flying all over the place. Then they saw the banknotes were coming from a bin. In the bin was a plastic bag jammed full of torn up notes. Then the girls had to go to school. So that's the first paragraph. You might not have said all of the same words. That's okay. This is just an example. Maybe your story is different. That's okay too. Just an example. Okay, let's go on to the second paragraph. After school, the girls were playing when the police arrived. They told them where the banknotes were, and the police took them away to the Bank of England. After a long time, the police gave them back the banknotes, and they decided to stick them together. So, again, that's just an example. Your example might be different, your paragraph might be different, and that's just fine. But now that you know the story, maybe you can practice telling it or writing it.